Welcome to the Ready, Set, Collaborate podcast with Wanda Pearson and my guest, Matt Dillingham. I am so excited to have Matt on this show because this is a new year, 2025, that we need to get our stuff in order, which means our credit, our finances, all of that. So that's why I want to do that, start the beginning of the year to get our stuff together as far as getting our finances, credit report, credit together, getting your will done. All of that stuff is so important to get started the right way. So I want to introduce you to my guest, Matt Dillingham. Say hi to the audience, Matt.
Hey everybody, glad to be here. All that
Yeah,
good stuff.
yeah, Matt. We were just talking about the weather. Matt is in Virginia, so he got a lot colder weather and snow than we do. I'm
Yeah,
so excited to have him on here and share his expertise on credit reporting and finances. And that's so important, right?
very.
Right,
It's
Matt? Yeah, so I
doesn't go away.
yeah, and I thought about Matt. I said because we did actually a webinar together about 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's been that long.
Yeah, it probably
Oh
took time
wow,
to adjust.
we did it. We did it.
Yeah,
It was.
yeah,
Yeah, it was.
yeah. Yeah, so a lot of people, it's January. We did a lot of spending for Christmas. I know I got six grandkids, and I said I wasn't gonna do it, and I did it. And I said, okay, I'm not doing this again. I said it last year. I'm not gonna do it again, and I did it
Right.
again. Trying to get my credit in order and paying off credit down my credit is so important to me because my credit report is very important, and I want to make sure that I stay up in those 800s. Yeah, and you can get there too with Matt's help by,
Exactly.
by repairing and improving your credit score. Then we talk a little bit about Matt. Matt Dillingham is a former Marine. He served from 2006 to 2012. While in the Marine Corps, he graduated with a degree in family studies from the University of Maryland at College Park. He is also an award winning author and a co author of the book Born to Risk. Though he did not follow through with his major after college, that choice of major started his journey of self development, which led him to the world of credit. Matt is a spiritual person that everything is energy, and that to change one's life to simply changing your energy within the and filling out the emotions that come up to you. He is currently the COO of A1 Solutions Group and enjoys teaching people not just about how credit works, but how the power of credit can change one's financial reality for the better. Matt, thank you so much for coming to my Ready, Set, Collaborate podcast. I'm so excited to have you here. Matt, tell us a little bit more about you that I haven't talked about already.
Kind of did summarize my journey in a bit. I guess I'll start with some funny things. Like my favorite film of all time is Top Gun, the first one.
Oh,
I've been
yeah.
watching that since I was 3 years old, since 1988. I, I don't know why it's always stuck with me. So that's a little bit. I'm a big advocate for health. I exercise 6 days a week. I do the cold showers in the morning for 3 minutes. I don't set up, so that it helps me wake up. That really helps with one waking you up, puts you in a better mood. It's healthy for you, and I'm got to a point where it's I have it now. Where if I don't do it, I feel weird, which is
Mhm.
interesting. So there's that side, and really big on the inner development work because at the end of the day, whether you're trying to change your credit, fix your finances, change your health, whatever, your outer world is simply a reflection of what's going on inside. And too many of us want to change the external, which makes sense. You have to understand that it's what's going on the inside, the beliefs you have, the way you're looking at things, perceiving stuff is what's causing the outside. So you gotta work on that first. And then from there, everything else can flow and follow. And it's not that point, it won't be some sort of challenge, just kind of adjusting and getting you to change and making it more autopilot at that point. So
Mhm. Absolutely. But that cold shower, that seems too cold with this cold weather out here now.
you know what though? I'll tell you what. It's best to do it now because it's colder, but it prepares you better for the weather. Because
Yeah.
the easy thing is, I'll do this in summertime. Of course, it's hot, it's humid. In
Yeah.
the winter time, though, that's where you have to go. All right, but it does wake you up. But then after about 2 minutes, your body adjusts to it, and so you do feel warm. Trust me, the first 2 minutes suck. I ain't gonna lie. I'd be like, oh, I hate this thing. But then after about 2 minutes, I've noticed it's like all of a sudden you feel this like adjustment or calm come over you, and you go, ooh, and you're like, oh, I can do this, and it feels and it's different because your body heating up. It's a whole bunch of health benefits. Yeah, but better than
Yeah.
coffee. Say that much.
God bless you. So you could have that one.
I'll take it. Trust me. It helps me so much. Endurance, all
Yeah.
this stuff. Let's go for it. But yeah.
No, and that's what's important as far as what you're used to. How long have you been doing that for?
Oh, when did I start? I think that's a good question. I would say about 2 years because I started with listening to, I forgot how I got introduced to the Wim Hof method. I listened to the audiobook and he sells you very hard and taking a cold shower. I was like, all right, fine. So start out gradually, like he says, do 30 seconds. You do that for a week, then you bump it to another 30 seconds. So after 3 or 4 weeks, you're at like a couple minutes. So I initially was doing it. I would take my regular shower and then end it with the cold.
Mhm.
And then after a while, I was like, I forget why. I listened to the Joe Rogan podcast and seeing other people on YouTube. I got into, haven't gotten one yet, the cold plunge, where it's like much colder. And Joe Rogan only talks about it 3 minutes. I hate it. Sucks. But once I'm out, I'm better. I feel happier, better mood. I was like, all right. So then I was like, let me just do 3 minutes of cold shower instead and start my day that way. And it really does make a big difference. You're like, oh, I feel happier. I don't. It's perfect how that works, but you will have better mood. You're like, I feel better. Wow, great.
That's great. Now, people, now you see, this is another way to get your mind together.
Yeah, it does because no. And the serious last thing I'll say about this, because typically what I do, I'll take an energy shot or some kratom to help keep my body going to work out. There have been times when it's the energy shots hit me, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, I'm just not right. Then I take a cold shower, and then I just first this morning I got out and I was like, "Yo, let's go, let's do this, let's go, get it work." I was like, as a needed kick. So that means that for me, my body's we need to do this so we can fully get going.
That's awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. So let's get into the meat of the ground here. Why we're
Yeah.
here, and that was some good information as far as that too here.
Yep.
So, can you explain what credit repair is and how it works?
So what credit repair is, I'll say, okay, no, let me just, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not a miracle. People, please stop coming to us hoping that I'm going to snap my fingers. You're going to be the 700, 800. That's not how it works. That's not what it is. What credit repair is, at least the way I define it, it's first and foremost educating you on credit, how it works, but it's not taught, just like financial literacy. Educating you what is how it works, right? Then also, in addition to that, it's disputing the negative items on your credit report, meaning our inquiries, late payments, collections, charge-off, bankruptcies to get deleted off the file. It can also include, if need be, settling on certain accounts like charge-off collections. There's a whole methodology that where, depending on who you with, have a resource, they call it debt recontracting, that debt settlement, to where they look at what's going on, catch violations by the debt collectors to get to then settle on it, or if any case, get debt waived. And depending on what the debt collector creditor may have done, you may get money back over to you and get the item removed. Again, this is not a magic pill. It's about understanding your rights and everything else. So that way, if you have to go through that, I'm going to say how it works, because when we're done, you have to maintain it. It's a lifelong thing. It does not being a factor in life, unfortunately. And that's how I would say it. It's saying, here's what it is, it works. Here's what we're going to do for you to help you to where you want to be, and then maintain it afterwards. That way, should anything else happen to you down the line, I'm to work with you. Versus for a lot of people in my space will not say this. A lot of people will get their credit fixed. They'll get to that 700, or they get the car, what they want, and then about 6 months, a year later, they're right back where they were prior.
Yep. That's
Do it again and again, and it's like, stop doing that, because it just makes it harder to keep going from that point on.
Oh, absolutely. And that was actually one of the things I was going to ask you about the common misconceptions about credit repair services. I think you just answered that question there.
No, there's another one. No, there is a common misconception. People think credit repair. Some people think that it's the same as debt consolidation or like paying off debt, and it's not. Those are two different things, three different things. So it's not the same, because people know I'm not negotiating with the creditor unless it comes down to it. And I will say this to you as well. If you do have collection charge-offs, there is a possibility, I don't know the chance, but I have to say this, Sometimes people do get sued by the original creditor or the debt collector because they can do that. But again, even happens, you have rights and how to navigate that, because what most people do, they see the court summons and they go, nope. And it's not, you don't do it because they're going to show up for court. You're not going to show up, and the judge will be, all right, default judgment, you were in your favor. When you can avoid court, maybe come out some whatever settlement, and then also in addition to asking for a paper deletion and then get it off, and then you're good to go. You have to understand, doesn't matter what the situation, you have rights. Know that when it comes to this, and give it the right resource. And if I'm not a lawyer, I'll say I'm not a lawyer, but I have resources that specialize in this area, I will help you with that by referring you to them, because they'll be able to tell you X, Y, and Z, do this, you're good, you've been happy, and they're like, thank you. I'm like, you're welcome. You do not need to stress about this. Sorry for the long tangent. But
No, that's good. And you can refer them to me, because that's what we do with Legal Shield.
yeah, right. Yeah. But there's so many other things people don't know about.
Yeah, they
I
know.
learned this year about debt collector violations, and I'm like, people don't know this stuff, and I'm like, it's insane.
Mhm. No, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So let me ask you another question. So how does credit impact a person's financial opportunities, such as home ownership or business
I'll
loans?
tell you that. Yeah. Credit no longer is something that denies you chances to get loan money, like a personal loan. Most people understand, yeah, I have to get, if you don't have good credit, it's hard to rent an apartment, but you can forget getting a mortgage. And if you do get a mortgage, a low credit score, you'll pay an arm and a leg and then some to get it. You'll come with so much money on the table. And then also there's so many conditions they have put in place. Don't do that. Just put in time to come that way. If you get like at least 620, you can qualify for certain programs. Also, depending on your job and what you get, it's so much better. There's that. It can cost you more money with, depending on the state, they're changing this. Homeowners insurance, car insurance, life insurance, health insurance. I don't agree with it, but I'm thinking of my driving record should be the factor in my insurance premiums, not because if you can't pay your bills, you're like, screw it. I don't care. I dropped today and just go crazy on the road. That's two different things, but they make this argument as a correlation. Sure, there is.
I see that a lot of insurance, auto insurance companies are now checking your credit.
Yeah, they do, and it's not like it's a huge impact with some influence that you want to lower it.
Mhm.
There's that. Hospitals run your credit. It's a soft pull, even to have health insurance, because people forget hospitals are business. And if they got to do whatever they got to do, they want to make sure they're going to get some money back or all of it or whatever, because they do that. It's soft pull, but there's that. The other thing I want to tell people is that credit can also deny you opportunity to make more money. Jobs check your credit, soft pull. There's, depending on the industry, you can be denied getting certain appointments with certain insurance companies.
Yeah.
Security clearances can be denied. You can lose your job due to your credit. Also, depending on what career, where you're working in the government, military, certain things, or even in the medical field, due to your bad credit, you can be denied a lateral move or even a promotion.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's not just like you can't get money; it's be loan, but you can have things to make money, achieve your goals, which is like insane. Because at the end of the day, what people don't understand is that if you have bad credit, they're judging you based on what's on paper, and you have to look at your own file, which is hard to do for a lot of people because it's scary. I get that. I've been there.
Mhm.
You have to understand that if what's showing up, if your credit is represented and it's showing collections, charges, late payments, all these things, what you're saying is character-wise, I don't care to pay my creditor and people back on a timely manner.
Mhm.
Then people think, okay, if I pay this collection charge off, I'll be good. No, because then what happens is it gets updated being a paid collection, be charge off. Then again, they look at it and then they think, so you didn't want to pay one back until you defaulted on these accounts, or you paid it back because you got sued. So I'm supposed to look to you to blow you money or hire you for my company, because guess what? Here's the truth. He who has the gold makes the rules, or he who pays you the money makes the rules. So if they want you a certain character financially, they can do that. I don't agree with it, but I'm not the employer. So that's what they look at. It's like, how do you look on paper?
That is so true. So I got so many things that you're gonna have to come back on my show.
I know, part two, right? There's a lot to this. It's not just like credit. It's like, oh, no.
No,
Yes.
it's a lot. But yeah, so what are the first steps someone should take to improve their credit score, and what are some of the common mistakes that they make trying to fix their own credit? I know there's a two-in-one question there.
I know, but one of them I just mentioned is paying the collection charge-offs. We don't have to. That's one. But before, let's step back. The first thing you have to, and again, this step is the hardest for some people because it's a scary step. You have to go pull it. Go to annualcreditreport.com. They now allow you to pull your credit report once a week for free. You know, all three bureaus. Do not pay for your score. There's a reason behind they did that because Congress required them to do this back in the 90s, and the bureaus were like, well, that's not fair. How can we make money? Oh, we'll charge them for their credit scores. So don't do it. Or if you don't want to do that, you can pay for credit monitoring. That gives you all three bureaus, not Credit Karma, trash. We use MyScore. You recommend that, or you can use My FICO. It's going to give you a FICO score, which is used by 90% of companies in the United States. You can get all three bureaus. You need to get all three reports and start looking at on there. And then you want to look at just 4 tiers to your credit report. 4 tiers: personal information, hard inquiries, your accounts and public record. You want to look at all that information, and the personal information will contain your name, variations of your name, birth date, phone number, social, current address, old addresses you worked at, old employers you worked at. And you want to look at that and go, okay, is my name spelled correctly? Do I have names in there that aren't mine? Is my birth date? Do I have more than one social? Or my current address is correct? If that happens. On the old addresses too, some people have addresses on there that they've never lived at. I had one client who did this process. We had people calling the bureaus to update this. And I don't know, one bureau had him for his name, had him listed as a state highway for his name. This stuff happens and won't tell you. So you want to go through that and clean that up to have one name with listed on your social security card, one current address, one correct social, no old addresses, one current employer. That way you look clean again about paper. 2, look at your hard inquiries. You can dispute those as well. See which ones are, again, yours and not yours. You can still dispute them anyway. Otherwise, they stand for 10 years. Then comes the accounts, which everyone focuses on. Look at your accounts, look at the payment history. This is also important because that one person I was speaking with, they had fraud. They had a collection on there that they didn't sign up for from an apartment complex that they never lived at. Somehow someone got the information and then there's some other stuff too. It was nuts. That happens. Go through all those. Is that your account? Great. Is it a charge off collection? That's fine. Go through all of them and go, okay. Then look at the public record. Anything in there? No. Awesome. From there, you have to look at, okay, what can I dispute? Late payments, collection charge-offs, hard inquiries. Then the other side to it is looking at what do I need to continue to build upon or add? Here's how you know if you have to add new credit. When you're looking at your report and all you have are collections, charge-off, and all your accounts are closed. Or for some people, all they have are collection charge-offs. What happens is people know this. They dispute stuff, they get some deletions, their score goes up and it stagnates because you're not building new credit. So if you have nothing but negative items on there, meaning nothing but collection charge-offs, or you have a combination of that plus closed accounts, you have to start rebuilding credit in your name again. Because if you don't, the stuff comes off, your score will stagnate because you're not building anything new. A great analogy I make is say the backyard and it's all and your backyard is filled with nothing but dead plants and trees and stuff. If you clear it out, great, the backyard is clean, but unless you plant new soil and seeds and plants and fertilize and everything else, nothing new will grow from there. You have an empty backyard, nothing. Same thing in credit. You have to start doing that.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm going to ask you these two questions, then we got to get to it because I want to get to your A1 Solutions Group. Support for seniors. What unique credit challenges do seniors face and how can they overcome them?
Great question, because most people I work with are mostly between 20 to 50, maybe 60.
Mm-hmm.
And here, I'll say this. For seniors, it's different because you're like, yeah, I'm done with this. I don't need this anymore. You've been through it. You've been your life paying taxes. You're like, I'm trying to look forward to just make it to the end and be chill. What I can say is this. If you have not stayed on top of your credit in years, you need to look at it. Because again, these companies do not care how old you are, what you've done. The challenge you run into as a senior citizen is that if you've not maintained your credit score and it's gone to the crapper and then you get credit pulled again, you will get judged. They're looking at you and go, you're 65, 70 years old. Why is your credit terrible? They will not say this to you. They'll think that and then they'll be like, goodbye. There was one guy we were trying to work with, didn't work out because his caretaker she was insane. She would cuss me out and stuff. It was weird. I was like, don't hate me. But he was 75. He was a veteran, trying to get a house, 580, denied. And I'm like, okay, let's help him. But they didn't care. It does not matter unless you're like wealthy as anything at that point, which most people aren't. You still need to maintain it and just look at the same topic. But from what I've heard from most people who are older, they understand credit report and they will stay on top of it. They'll be in 800s, high 700s, and they won't apply for a damn thing. They're like, nope. Unless you pay the money for it, then I understand that. That makes sense. You want to use my credit? How much you want to pay for it? It's gold. It's priceless. That's what I would say. Senior citizen, someone wants to pay you for the use your credit, charge them money. Because the money will come back to them. They need to pay you for your time, effort, and the discipline. Yeah, which you can do actually. Okay, here's the money hack. Senior citizens, you want to make some extra money? You can add people as an authorized user to your credit card. Okay, you can charge monthly, how much money you want. The card that comes to you, don't give it to them. They don't need it. And then it goes in their file, which is great. You want to do that? You're in 800s and stuff. You got good credit cards, never been late, balance paid off. Cool. I asked them seriously, like, how much you want for it? And look them dead in the eye.
Mm-hmm. That, and I was going to say it because a lot of seniors get scammed.
Yeah, lots of scam.
Yeah, on their credit. And also, some of them are struggling with medical bills or predatory lending.
Yeah.
That goes on their credit report. So that's something that they have to look out too. So it's always good for them to check their credit report to make sure that's you that's doing this here. Definitely. So let's talk about, because actually we winded down time. I told you I got to have you back on here. Let's talk about A1 Solutions Group, which you're the COO. What inspired you to start your journey in the financial services or credit repair industry?
2013, I was 27 years old, and I was at the bankruptcy courts in Green Bay, Maryland, going bankrupt at 27. That was a humbling moment because I thought, for whatever reason, that at that moment in time, only people in their 40s, 50s, and 60s declared bankruptcy due to medical bills and things. Here I was, 27, proving myself wrong real hard. So that started me down the journey. I got certified with credit repair then fast forward, I got hired by I worked for a company that was doing small business lending, and then really saw credit really impacts that. And then that led me to become a broker for a little bit. And then people would say, oh, I'm tired of these high-rate business loans. I would ask them which credit score. A lot of them would say, oh, it was being low 6s or high 5s. And I'm like, unless you change that, you're not going to get the business loans you want. So I started referring them to other company that would fix their personal and their business credit. And then moved to Winchester, Virginia. And so my girlfriend lives here. So that's how I got here first off. Didn't have anything here. I came here, I didn't have a job. I had insurance license, I had no process, I didn't know anybody. I had no car, nothing, bad credit still. Then I started to broker out small businesses again, cold calling banks here locally, back home in Maryland. One lady banker was like, hey, I'll send you business, but let me in person. My girlfriend at the time, she still was saying, I'm sorry. She still was saying girlfriend was saying, luckily, fortunately at the time, had a new car, shut me right, driving an hour and a half away, meet with this banker, sat down and talked. She gave me a business card. I'm a now business partner, and decided to jump headfirst into credit. Then that's how I got into it then and learned way more to the game that I realized to basically to where I'm at today. So, yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. But what sets you apart from other financial and credit repair services?
I tell people the truth.
Okay. Be honest.
Tell the truth.
Yeah.
We do that. We tell people the truth, and I tell them, look, my intention is to help you understand this versus fix it and go away. 2, we provide our clients lifetime protection of credit, meaning once you're done with the process, stay with us, the client. Anything has happened, because again, it follows you for life.
Mm-hmm.
We'll dispute, help you out without you paying anything extra out of pocket. You're covered on that. 3, I'm also certified life coach, so I provide coaching for my clients if they want it. Truly dive deeper into the root causes of what you got in the first place. Because we don't address that, again, credit repair is a Band-Aid. Let's dive into that and give you more resources. Plus, I have a big network of people. So if you need help with legal stuff, like you, I had one client of mine that need help building a resume, found something that, and then out of that, we're collaborating now to do more business to help do financial literacy for adults. Right. So we have that. So if you need something, a new realtor, loan officer. I'm gonna hook you up. If I can't do something credit wise, I know someone that can. You're good. It's not just us, it's me and the entire network to help you out. Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's why collaboration is a key to success. You have partners and you're working together. That's how you work together as far as collaborating with each other. So let me ask you something else and then we're winding down because I want you to share the links. I'm going to put it on the show notes of where they can check their credit scores as well. So how has your role as COO involved in the company's inception? I think we already talked about that a little bit, but your team, you have a team that you work with, right? You work with everybody as far as the collaboration. But how has your role as a CEO evolved into your company's inception? I think you said that in the beginning, right?
Yeah. I would say because the company wasn't started by me, started by my business partner back in 2010. So I came on board in 2019 and first became official managing partner in 2020, right before the pandemic happened. It's crazy. My role has changed because I've learned that people need more. I'm repeating myself, but I do this because it's important. There's people need more help than just Cripper. They really do need that accountability to guide them through things because life happens, things happen. The economy has been the best. There's challenge, all these things. Be like, look, like let's work more closely so I can help you to realize the power within you to help change things in your life. That way, as we come together, it's not just 2 rockets, it ends up being 3 or 4 times as fast. And really seeing that people need that help with financial literacy, really need help with, okay, what do you do before we talk budgeting? The money you get, where's it going? Let's be where we're at first, because your credit is a reflection of your financial behavior, financial behavior is a reflection of your beliefs and all this other stuff, and realize that people need more help if they want it. And that's the hardest part, people. It's admitting, hey, I have things I need to work on, but I'm not sure if I want to admit that to somebody because it's a personal thing and I understand it. But if you do that, everything else changes dramatically for you.
Right, and that makes sense. That makes sense. So what are your future goals for A1 Solutions Group?
So the future goal I have for this year, I have this setup where I'm going to take a step back. I'm not going to stop doing it, but I'll have a sales team handling things, helping with their credit, doing more small business funding, and to where it's running and growing without me having to be there present all the time. Because what I'm doing this year is in the transitioning and it's happening. I have another business, a life coaching business called Infinite Power Coaching. And I have a private podcast for that where I'm just doing more of that. And I'm also have worked on and launched a men's course. So I'm nutrition doing that. And so that's what I'm moving on to. But, I'm never going to drop this because it's still needed everywhere I go. People like to know, hey, we have a podcast. I know there's other things. And it's just something I'm like, I can't drop, but I like just helping people out. Like, let me tell you that there's light in the tunnel. Your surgery's not that bad. You know about this? I had no idea. You're welcome. Now,
And that's what it's about, is sharing your knowledge, your information with people. So what legacy do you hope A1 Solutions Group leaves behind?
I've never thought of that. That's a great question. What legacy? I would say just helping people to empower them to maintain their credit and have the change they want how change they want in their lives financially and know that they can achieve their financial goals and way more. They're not stuck.
Not getting stuck, but you can, what they call it, a setback to have a comeback is what I call it. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So thank you so much, Matt, for being on the show. So tell people how they can get in touch with you. I'm going to put this in. You can send that to me as well. So put it on the show notes, as well as tips and and also how to can set up a coaching call with you.
Oh, perfect. If they want to get a hold of me, this should still be up. You can go to speakwithmatt.info. No need to put W because if you do, it won't work. I don't know why, but speakwithmatt.info. That'll take you directly to my calendar link. Book a 30-minute call, be over Zoom. You can do that. You can also go to our website at www.a1solutionsgroup. I'm going to say it again because be for the group. A1, not spelled, just A1solutionsgroup.com. And then you can use my score Q is .com to look to get your credit report, or just do it the free way. Either way, it's still beneficial. You need to see everything on there.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Matt, because this is definitely needed for us to start this new year. Oh, I appreciate you being on the Ready, Set, Collaborate podcast. Listen, audience, definitely get in touch with Matt, and I'm going to put his information in the show notes, but make sure you follow, download, and share these episodes, especially with Matt. This is a new year, 2025. We got to start getting our stuff in order. And this is a great way to get our stuff in order as far as your credit financially, your goals to help you start the new year off. Matt, thanks again for being on the podcast. I appreciate it. I am on all podcast platforms. Ready, Set, Collaborate with Wanda Pearson. Thank you so much, Matt.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.